This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 19, verse 4. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai of hosts. Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and blessings be multiplied on all you brethren teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the hope for the elect, 144,000. I'm the brother Damar Gabar here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Yahweh Shai. All right, and you modern day Egyptians, all right, you Americans are definitely have been given over into a hand of a cruel and fierce Lord, which is Donald J. Trump. All right. And as of late, we can see how he's basically coming down with great wrath upon you Israelites, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. First with this whole Tim Holman, I think his name is, and the Trump administration with this whole deportation and his deputizing of all of these ICE officers, which is basically what? To round up you so-called Northern Kingdom tribes, you know. Of course, they're saying it's to get the Venezuelan gangs, but we know that. Hey, stop. We know that it's ultimately being aimed at, you know, all of you so-called Northern Kingdom tribes, whether you're Mexican, you know, Dominican, Venezuelan, whatever. All right. It's basically an aim at kicking you Northern tribe Israelites out of this country. And I was reading an article earlier where now he's offering illegals $1,000 to just self-deport. But now we see what these new executive orders, this one right here that I came across. Let me see something. This one. All right. Strengthening and unleashing America's law enforcement to pursue criminals and protect innocent citizens. And we know who are those innocent citizens he's trying to protect, which is these so-called white people. And as of late, you're seeing a lot of racial tension. You had that whole situation with that killing over there in Texas with that dude, Carmelo Anthony, and that one Edomite that he stabbed in the neck at the track meet. You know, you see other instances with the little Edomite chick. I don't know where they were, but she was calling, the other little 5-year-old Jake a nigger for digging in her baby's bag. And you see a lot of sentiment of these Edomites as feeling unsafe. All right. And they're fed up with being attacked. They're fed up with the violence and the low IQs and the brutality of you so-called Negroes here in this country. And something needs to be done about it. You see, and what does Trump do in the meantime? He's strengthening and unleashing America's law enforcement to pursue criminals and protect innocent citizens. Basically, he's setting up, militarizing the police, basically to round up you Jake, man, mainly you so-called Negroes. You see, first it was this deportation attack on the Northern Kingdoms. Now they're getting ready to come after you Southern Kingdoms, you so-called Negro tribes, man. You see? And like I said, every time you go on social media, you go on World Star Hip Hop, you're on these platforms. What do you see Jake out here doing? Basically showing their asses. They're on TikTok. They're on these social media platforms, you know, going live, showing their violent and, their violent natures, man. You see, like they had that incident over there in Chicago where those two hyenas went into the Mexican restaurant, ate half of their order, and then wanted their money back. And then when they didn't get their money back, they trashed the store. They threw the what do you call it? The chick that was serving them threw her cell phone and some consomme or some damn juice, and then continue to stomp the girl and beat the shit out of her for not wanting to give them a refund. And you see this type of behavior all over social media. You know, you got a lot of these Jakes doing those street takeovers. Just everywhere you look, you see Jake exhibiting this behavior of just brute beast. All right. Hey, and these devils and Trump, this cruel Lord is putting a lot of presidential actions in place to where, hey, you Jake are about to be you're about to be addressed, man. All right. And Trump is talking all of this. He wanted to get all of these hardened criminals out of America, even to the point to where he's talking about shipping you niggas over to Venezuela and to these third world countries and to these brutal concentration camps. You see, it's a whole lot of attack on you Jakes, man. You're getting ready to be addressed by this damn devil Esau Edom for all of your wickedness, man, for all of your bullshit, for all of your lack of self-control. basically your lack of obedience and returning back to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Because hey, the only cure all for you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and for your brutal beast nature and how you are is the scriptures, is Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, it's the only thing that can cure that uncurable bruise and putrefying sores and wild, erratic, and bestial type of nature is you coming back to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai in all truth and sincerity and putting on as the elect, putting on your Hebrew Israelite character. Heritage and all the law, statutes, and wisdom that comes along with it to the best of your ability here in this society. You see, because our people's problem is not a financial problem. Giving Jake a lot of money and 40 acres and a mule and status in this society is not going to cure what's ailing you, man. It's only going to really highlight and heighten whatever issues and demons you already have within you. But the only thing that can cure you, man, is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And as we know, 2/3 of our people are not going to be cured by Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. A lot of them are going to be destroyed here in Babylon the Great, man. But the point being is that, hey, the Lord is allowing your enemy Esau to come down with you with great wrath. All right, what the fuck happened? Oh damn, I should just got rid of everything I had, huh? Damn devils. But anyways, this is oh shit, Salakia. Let me take this call. All right, Salakia. So it says and ultimately, what we see happening is that, hey, these devils getting ready to come down upon you, Jakes, and it's showing you that we're getting closer to the time of Jacob's trouble. And another thing too, these devils, I really, when you really, look at it, with your spiritual goggles on, man, hey, these devils know that sedition is getting ready to come to this country, especially with this whole tariff situation. They're not showing you this in mainstream news media, but when you look around and go to these different alternative news sites, hey, over there in China, those people are fucking pissed off. They're protesting. There's a lot of warehouses getting shut down, a lot of people not getting paid, a lot of, protesting going on because of these tariffs. Because what? Now they're talking about iPhones are not going to be made in China anymore. So they're stripping that manufacturing part of that country away. And it's getting crazy over there. People are taking it to the streets. People are pissed off. People are not satisfied with, that situation. And there's been talks of in the coming weeks, those tariffs are going to start to really show and, hit here in America if nothing is done, which is going to lead to what? More empty shelves, more the higher price of these goods that's not coming in. A lot of these stores are going to be presenting more bare shelves. More people are going to lose their jobs, especially a lot of these warehousing companies. A lot of truckers have been losing their jobs. So it's just going to create the perfect, the perfect atmosphere for, chaos to ensue, man. And this is why, I believe this devil Trump is putting these executive orders in. He's militarizing the police. He's deputizing a lot of these ICE agents, and he's getting, and now he's talking about, which I'm going to show you the article, reopening ALCATRAZ prison. Why? Because they know that, shit's about to go completely haywire here. A lot of sedition and uprisings and, civil unrest is getting ready to happen. So it makes sense why he's getting all these things in place before these things fully come to pass. And they're talking about in the summertime where these things should really be at their height. If these certain situations, those tariffs don't get taken care of. So they're already, going to be justified in rounding up a lot of you Jakes, man, throwing a lot of you in prison, militarizing the police force, giving them higher pay, giving them all the tools necessary to deal with the so-called criminal element of this society, which, when all hell breaks loose, hey, everybody is going to be even more of a criminal element here as people get more desperate, as, the situation gets more dire and straight and desperation sets in. Hey, these devils it's going to be, a martial law type of scenario out here in Babylon the Great, man, which is all ultimately leading to prophecy. All right. And this is Psalms chapter 10, verse 8. It says, he sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. And whose villages? Where you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans dwell. Remember, this whole, strengthening and unleashing America's law enforcement to pursue criminals is basically, we know that you Jakes are going to be pretty much deemed the criminals. Is what he's going to be, putting a lot of these enhanced police forces in the neighborhoods of where you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans dwell, man. It says, in the secret places does he murder the innocent. Right. And a lot of these laws that he's given in that executive order is to protect the law enforcement from using lethal force, from basically doing their jobs. Because who has the biggest problem with the police? It's so-called Negroes. Because what? They always seem to use unnecessary force. They're quick to pull the gun and blast niggas away for doing the most, for doing anything, which, Jake brought that shit upon themselves, because the way that they behave and the way that they act, when cops usually deal, with going to the ghetto and dealing with you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans for particular, police involvements, hey, they're quick triggered. They're constantly got their hand upon the gun because what? They just never know what to expect dealing with you damn animals, man. Salakia, man. God damn. All right, Salakia. That's not the call I was expecting. All right. It says, in the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. Right. And who's the poor? You Israelites, you Jakes, man. You see? And this is what this is ultimately being set up to do, is to what? To get rid of the criminal element out of society, in which, this is going to fall on Jake, who are law abiding citizens. For Jake, that may not be on that demon time like most average niggas be. Hey, just the fact that you're black and you're in this society, hey, they're going to look at all of us the same, whether you're an upstanding citizen or whether you're one of these YNs out here. This whole scenario is being set up to basically to come up against all of us, man, to deem all of us enemies and terrorists, and to be rounded up and dealt with, man. Verse 9, it says, he lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. You see, and this is nothing more than this net that's being set to basically to get at you Israelites, man. And this is also going to be used to ultimately to come up against the man of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai as well, because hey, we're out there prophesying and preaching. We're looked at in a certain light. We're looked at as the prophets of doom. We're looked at as something negative, and that's a stain on this society. And they even like to say that we're part of the reasons that could, from what we preach and what we speak, could cause Jake to do and to act out violently. And they could blame us for Jake moving in a particular way. They can say that you guys incited this because of your preaching that the so-called white man is the wicked and he's the devil and he needs to go into captivity and you're going to do this. This is what caused these particular Jakes to wild out in this nature and to move in this certain way. So therefore, hey, we're going to, we need to be, you need to be dealt with too. All right. You need to be taken off of the streets. You need to be, what's it say? Let me see. You need to be thrown in ALCATRAZ prison. You need to be shipped to one of these third world countries because you're part of the problem with the society, But look at this here. So from Reuters, it says Trump orders the reopening of ALCATRAZ prison. It says President Trump said on Sunday he was directing the Federal Bureau of Prisons to rebuild and reopen the infamous ALCATRAZ prison in San Francisco Bay to house America's most ruthless and violent offenders. And like I said, who do you think is at the forefront of the ruthless and violent offenders? Is you Jakes, man. With your pants hanging off your ass, you're so influenced by this rap music and gangster rap, You're the ones that need to ultimately be dealt with and thrown in these type of prisons. What? Just drop these niggas off and leave them at ALCATRAZ. All right. And if you want to break free and try to escape, hey, by all means necessary, go ahead. Those damn great whites are going to shred your ass going to shred you rip you to shreds, man. If you don't freeze to death, all right, it says rebuild and open ALCATRAZ. He posted on Truth Social platform. When we were a more serious nation, you see, that's why what? He's that cruel Lord, man, that has been you've been given over into the hands of. It says in times past, we did not hesitate to lock up the most dangerous criminals, and we kept them far away from anyone they could harm. Right, because like I said, who's the face of crime and brutality and violence in this society is you Negroes, man. Yeah, Pookie and Ray Ray. Shit, even Shaquanda and Sharkeisha. Y'all a bunch of goddamn violent criminals and out of control, in the eyes of these, in the eyes of this society, man. These people wouldn't think twice if Trump started throwing you niggas in the hood and you Pookie and Ray Rays in Alcatraz or deporting you out of the country. It wouldn't be no uproar against that. People would be like, hey, well, if anybody needs to go, it's definitely them niggas. What the hell's this? Oh, it says the federal prison at Alcatraz housed notorious criminals such as Al Capone before it closed in '63. It is blah blah blah. It says, today I am directing the Bureau of Prisons, together with the Department of Justice, the FBI, and Homeland Security, to reopen a substantially enlarged and rebuilt Alcatraz, Trump wrote. Let me see. What else? It says, Alcatraz was billed as America's most secure prison given the island location, frigid waters, and strong currents. No successful escapes were ever officially recorded from Alcatraz, though 5 prisoners are listed as missing and presumed drowned. Now, them niggas probably drowned, but they probably got ate by those goddamn great whites that be out there frequenting those waters. All right. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. But you can see, okay, let's just say hypothetically, if he doesn't even get Alcatraz open, you really got to look at it as the spirit of the conversation that Trump is having. All right. He's coming in as no nonsense, not tolerating anything, but more of a authoritarian, becoming cruel, becoming more draconian, and ultimately, trying to do away with the criminal element of this society, which is going to be aimed at you Jakes, man. You see? So, hey, Jake better wake the hell up, man. Oh shit, because Esau ain't playing around, man. And like I said, a lot of this is gonna be for 2/3. No, that's not what I wanted. Damn. This is really being aimed at, just showing you the times that we're in, man. And that the Lord's putting the spirit on Trump, man, to come down like this, because ultimately, hey, the Lord's getting ready to bring a lot of judgment to 2/3 of you wicked ass Israelites out there, man. And the stage is being set for Jacob's trouble. Like I said, all of this tariff talk, all of this, talk of the crash of the dollar, all of these situations where cyber attacks are going to take place, this whole society coming to a screeching halt, man, we know it's going to lead to a criminal element being heightened and all hell breaking loose, man. All right. And it says Isaiah chapter 10 verse 5, O Assyrian, the rod of my anger and the staff in their hand is my indignation. And who is the modern day Assyrian? Esau, Edom. All right. And the Lord is going to use this devil as a whooping stick upon you, Jake. And it says, I will send him against an hypocritical nation, and against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge to take the spoil and to take the prey and to tread them down like the mire of the streets. You see? And how is a huge part that's going to take place? By these executive orders, by Trump wanting to reopen Alcatraz, by this federal executive order to strengthen and unleash America's law enforcement upon the criminal element of this society, man. You see? A lot of you Jakes out here playing games. A lot of you Jakes out here still rolling around thinking that this ain't going to really come at you or touch you. You're going to be sadly mistaken, man. All right. Because, hey, these devils are still going to bring in this new world order. And we know they need the chaos to ensue and all hell to break loose here. All right. This is Revelations 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. A short time to what? To establish this new world order, man. But as we say, he needs all this hell and chaos to break loose first, so that he can be justified in doing all of these things that he really wants to, be justified in, bringing this wrath, so that he could, bring the order out of it, and then eventually bring in this new digital beast system, 15-minute cities, and put that micro C hip and you people. All right. But as we can see, man, hey, Trump is definitely in that spirit of that cruel Lord, man. Hey, and as each day goes by, as more executive orders get passed, this devil was showing you that, hey, man, he ain't playing around. All right. And he's getting ready to come down with that wrath and with this rod and with, that cruelness to to and enforce these things that he needs to get done so that he could bring in this new world order, man. Now, a lot of you Jakes are going to get steamrolled by a lot of this, man. So you Jake, keep playing games, keep thinking this ain't serious, keep putting off from day to day to sincerely return to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, thinking that, somehow, some way you're going to be able to, move in this unruly and disobedient behavior with no consequences coming your way, man. And the Lord is about to let Esau truly show his horns, man. And this devil Trump ain't going to stop, man. He's going to continue to get more and more draconian, more and more cruel as, he's getting pushed by his handlers to bring in this new world order, man. So again, man, hey, you Jake been warned, man. You better get right. You better get your house in order and really get serious about, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, because the Lord is about to let Esau come with it, man. So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai for putting the spirit in me to do this lesson. Until the next one, Shalom.